Jackson Radio Show.
Do you know why the courts are injecting themselves into big American political policy? It's because Democrats can't win. So judges have become activists. They've become legislators. And that's not the role of the courts. And it's because Democrats have no role in running this country, in legislating at scale, because they've lost across the country in every state house and at the federal level.
Well, your point is that the courts are legislating. That's essentially
Absolutely.
what you're saying.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. The only way that the left wins is when the courts step in. And I got to tell you, one of the most, probably the least discussed thing that the Donald Trump presidency brings to America is these new federal judges and these district judges that are being appointed. Of course, the Supreme Court judge and getting Gorsuch to replace Scalia is a big deal. And let's face it, Donald Trump will probably have one or two others in the next 7 years that he'll have to replace. But Gorsuch was a big deal. But these state and federal judges are huge. They're huge. And the left know this. The longer they keep them out, the better for them. Like this judge that has rescinded the Trump travel order ban. Why does he have that kind of power? How can a judge overrule the president? I mean, we're not talking about the Supreme Court. We're talking about a regular judge that says, no, I'm going to make a determination, and because somebody brought a piece of legislation, can overrule. For all intents and purposes, why don't you just say, I want to sue the president at some level like that, and then have the judge say, yeah, you win the lawsuit and arrest him? I mean, aren't we at that slippery slope? The reason why I'm bringing this up is because it took the courts to pass Obamacare. It couldn't pass on its own. Nobody wanted Obamacare. And you're getting the outcome of it. And as I said a second ago, they're advertising, come get a cheaper version of Obamacare over here. So it may be the, quote, law of the land, and they've already got alternative policies. There's so many workarounds, and there will be more coming. I want to give these numbers, though, because Democrats continue to put lipstick on the pig, and Obamacare, the pig, continues to prove that it's a failure. And leftists beamed not long ago about the signups for Obamacare. At the time, I want to say it was 800,000 people. And they were like, ooh, based on this run rate, we're going to insure a gazillion people, and Obamacare is going to prove itself to be good. I remember watching CNN and the jubilation of, these people celebrating that as much as President Trump wants, Obamacare to fail, look at these numbers. Woohoo! It was like that Popeyes commercial I played the other day. Ooh, girl, you could get you some Popeyes chicken, girl. They were just beaming over the numbers. And now they're disappointed. But what's funny is how they report their disappointment. They can't tell you that this is nowhere close to the numbers because you would get it. I'm looking at the Hill reported this. The number of people signing up for Obamacare has surged in the first few weeks of open enrollment. Now, this year, and I want to finish, contrary to dire predictions. Now, they're saying it's surged. So what exactly is a surge? A surge being numbers over last year, numbers over the normal period, numbers over the lifetime of Obamacare. What? Numbers over those who have opted out. What's the definition of the surge? We don't know. That's just somebody. It's surge. It's the beginning of open enrollment. Don't you think anybody who's got an ailment, pre-existing condition, whatever, the worst case scenario in healthcare, surged to get it? So that's what happened. They say the spike in signups is good news for supporters of the healthcare law, but I love this. But experts warn the early numbers don't necessarily signify a trend. No kidding? Really? Final enrollment numbers could still be much lower than in the past, they say. So see, the analysts give a warning. These numbers do not mean that it's going to be all good. They say the first Obamacare open enrollment period of the Trump administration has been surprisingly robust despite the uncertainty caused by nearly 10 months of repeal attempts in Congress, rising premiums, and insurer exits. So the premiums continue to go up. People, the insurers continue to leave it, but the left go, but they're still signing up. What do you think all that's happening is the people with the worst conditions now have fewer choices and they surge to get back on. If I had, let's say, some theoretical pre-existing condition or just some major medical health issues that I knew Obamacare was going to benefit me or my family to the tune of, it wouldn't matter if they charged me $3,000 a month, I'd eat it up, in whatever period of time, meet my deductible, and by March, I'm using the Obamacare. I'd do it in a heartbeat. I'd be the first. I'd be waiting for it to come on. Kevin, your premium's gone up from $1,500 to $3,000. No problem. Sign me up. Because I know I'm going to have $150,000 of medical costs. So why not? Get it done. So you get what I'm saying? So if you get all that, that's who's waiting on it. But they're telling you what's wrong with the product right there. Rising premiums and insurer exits. And they say this through the first 18 days, nearly 2.3 million people signed up for insurance coverage through Obamacare exchanges. They said that number has outpaced the same number than under former President Barack Obama. So understand, Obamacare has been the law of the land, and the legislation outpaced the same period under Obama. So in other words, the legislation is supposed to be dyed in the wool, is keeping pace with the numbers of Obama, and actually it's doing better. Or is it? Larry Levitt, a health policy expert at Kaiser Family Foundation, say enrollment is up significantly on a daily basis, but cautioned against drawing conclusions from the early numbers. But there are a lot fewer days in the open enrollment period. So what he's saying there is, if they used to give you 60 days to sign up, and now you only have 30 days to sign up, can you really look at this as outpacing? See, they didn't give you that little tidbit. Yeah. The reason they caution against drawing conclusions, folks, is it's fake news. Open overall enrollment is down. And here's what they say. There are a number of factors that could weigh down enrollment this year. Standard & Poor's earlier this month forecast that enrollment could actually drop by as much as 1.6 million below last year's level of 12.2 million signups, in part due to uncertainty from the administration's actions. So they're planning on a $1.6 million drop, which means it'll be bigger. Trust me. Now, in 2009, here's what the numbers were supposed to be. We reported this at the Black Sphere organization. We were told 31 million people are uninsured in America. They claim to have 8 million signed up. This was in 2009. 700,000 had stopped paying for the insurance out of the 8 million who were signed up when they announced it in April. Now, a video that we showed said that at the 5-year mark of Obamacare, 16 million were insured. So using those numbers, this was in 2013. So using those numbers, Obamacare's lost 3.8 million people. That was before President Trump. Now, using their numbers, this is from a video produced by the left, 35 million remain uninsured. Now, one would think that given how fantastic the left says Obamacare is, that after 7+ years, everybody would be on it. Obama said our policy, the policies would be cheaper, we'd have better health care, and so on and so forth. So how do we measure the damage of Obamacare to the millions who've lost their health care plans? And due to the cost, the millions now who have little to no choice in health care coverage. But see, the left now look for excuses for when Obamacare dies. That's what they're looking for. They blame the shorter open enrollment period, which President Trump cut in half, and it now ends on December the 15th. And even if sign-ups stayed on pace, they would fall well short of the previous years because of the shortened period. Or will they blame the individual mandate ending, which begs the question, why would you need a mandate for something so good? It's a rhetorical question. Don't worry about answering it. Obamacare is failing, folks, for all the right reasons. The legislation was considered reparations for blacks and a metaphorical win for white leftists, and neither of those wins means a win for America. Obamacare costs more and it delivers less. And like its namesake president, Obamacare will eventually fail, and it will fail dramatically, and it's going to go down in the dung heap of history of things that we never should have tried. And I hope you're not struggling like many families are to find adequate health insurance now.
Kevin Jackson
on the Black Sphere Radio Network.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.